The one trend that I see with prop tech companies is that their products are really strong, but they don't get adopted. This could be a product issue, it could be an industry issue. I would like to hear your perspective and maybe what could we do to better break down what a product can actually do and how people would use it?
Of course, yeah. So the problem is that most products are actually solids. The breakdown happens at understanding level. Users don't know what they are looking at. Real estate buyers, for example, are not technical, so they rely on familiarity, clarity. If something feels unclear, they don't engage. So that's why that confusion that they start at the very beginning, right, leads to that hesitation that I mentioned before, because it's not certain at the very beginning, right, at the first minutes, right, to approach the product, right. It's that hesitation that breaks that adoption, because think about something, people don't adopt what they don't understand. You will be surprised how common is this in first, the user should know exactly what to do. And there is so much ambiguity. There is not a clear starting point. Second, they need to experience value quickly. It's not all about understanding the product. It's they need to feel the benefits, a quick win early on, right? Third, I will say it's reduce effort as much as possible. I mean, like no long setup, no complex steps. The product should guide them, not expect them to figure things out. And that's the problem. They need a clear direction in every step. Connect the products to the real workflow, yeah? You need to show how this fits into what they already do. And yeah, again, don't overwhelm them with too many features too early, because that creates that drop-off. When it works, it's just fast understanding, quick action, visible value. And when it fails, it feels more like there is confusion, delay, there is no clear outcome. So the friction usually starts very early at the point of understanding. Yeah, so users don't fully get what the product does or where it fits. Yeah, so and also there are multiple stakeholders which slow down everything. So each one sees value differently. Yeah. The messaging rarely, right, speaks to all of them. There is no clear, let's put it like that, no clear internal owner. And the responsibility is diffuse, decisions get delayed. And as I said before, too much information too soon all the time. Instead of guiding companies, they tend to overwhelm all the time with so much information. And users, the problem is that obviously users don't know what to prioritize, isn't it? So there is a mismatch between the promise and the experience. And yeah, so what they expect from the products, those users, is just that, and what they actually see is that the onboarding is often too heavy on that stage, and instead of reducing the efforts as founders, right, they add more work for those users to understand everything. So there are a few things that I will say. Trust starts with transparency, clarity. If something is hard to understand, it creates that doubt, yeah, that delay. You need to make it obvious what the product does and who it's for. And you shouldn't have any ambiguity in terms of keywords, the way that the messaging in your website, when you communicate with customers, you need to align those expectations from the very beginning. What they see before sign up, right, should match what they experience after. Yeah, to literally this is to reduce the perceived risk. Yeah, and yeah, like show familiar patterns. And don't feel too complex for them to understand you. And of course, another thing that I always say, show proof where possible, not just features or claims, because that's where people will believe you, because there is that social proof. And yeah, so trust grows when users feel they understand what's happening and what to expect. However, for complex products, it's very important to have the sales team behind it, right? Because that make a big difference. Someone guiding, right, early, and helping them connect it to their workflow. And yeah, so videos, documentation are useful, but usually it's a bit passive. Users don't actually engage unless they need help. But anyway, the most effective approach is usually a mix, but centered around one thing, guiding the user to the first success. Yeah. So the goal is not to explain the products. Yeah, it's to help the user achieve something quickly. And yeah, so the faster someone experience value, as I said before, the faster they become familiar with it.